What's going on, y'all? It's Jay Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video. As you guys can see, doing the first half, like the first leg of my GTX Battle of the Bay X, Battle of the Bay 10 recap. I'm planning on doing I'm going to do Saturday, I'm doing this first half. Sunday, I'm going to do the day 2 part. And then as we get into the week, I'm going to take some of the best battles and do more bar for bar, just basic reviews for them. Just giving you guys a little roadmap of how I'm going to cover this because it is like 30-something fucking battles. It's a lot of different work to run down. Also, check out Let's Talk Battle Rap. We're going to have the articles out, you know what I'm saying, towards the early of the week covering the whole event. But now that I've mapped out the coverage, as you can see, I'm going to be doing top 5 most impressive performers and top 5 most disappointing or really worst performers. Can't really say I'm too disappointed because with some of these I expected it. It just happens to be what I expected, which still wasn't good in the case of a couple of these talents, but definitely a grind time card to the core. We're going to see how day 2 goes, but especially if it follows the energy of day 1, if that's what Diz was shooting for that real reinstatement of grind time, it's got everything. It's got good battles. It does not have 90-second time limits as advertised, which is actually pretty good, you know what I'm saying, depending on which battle it is. The great battles end up being better because they're full-on battles. The battles that we really needed to be 90 seconds weren't, and that's painful, right? So, you know, looking at all that, we're going to be going over, like I said, the top 5 most impressive, but starting out with the top 5 performers that usually on this front half of the card kind of made it a dredge. You know, as we get to the top, definitely made it worth it, definitely came around to being a full product. But let's start with the top 5, my picks for the top 5 most disappointing performers of the night. So going to try a speed, you know, we want to focus on the positives, so going to try not to spend too much time on this. But at number 5, we do have Caustic. Won his battle, you know, technically not, right? He battled Coleslaw in one of the Bizarro battles, as I called it, one of those where Diz, I believe, even made a collage, like 4 battles, and said, these all have heavy viral potential. I think we know what that means. In motion, it's about what we thought, right? So it's Caustic really just roasting Coleslaw, who we'll talk about in a little bit, and it wasn't exactly, he's fighting back, not exactly the traditional battle rapping sense, you know, a little bit of lacking rapping at times, more spoken word poetry. We clearly see the play here, the shtick. But Caustic did pull his phone out twice. Now, the first one was funny. He tried to hide it. Brother, you are in 4K. I see you. You know what I'm saying? It's not... try to hide the phone in the jacket. I think it worked in the room a little bit, but he clearly checked his phone. In the third, I think he checked his phone twice. Now he was freestyling pretty smoothly, still landing haymakers. Tons of jokes that I'm going to go over in that room. In a weird way, you know, Caustic choked 2 rounds on a technicality. You know, Coleslaw, you could say, won the second and the third, but you know, if you watch the battle for yourself, you know why I'm not really going to debate that down to the core. But you can't be pulling your phone out in battles. And really, it's not like all this card was terrible. There was like a lot of it. There's like a main 2 to 3 culprits, which obviously we're going to get to. And then you have to kind of nitpick a little bit to see who was disappointing. Don't even really think Austin was disappointing, but he does make the list. At number 4, we do have the entirety of the 2-on-2 battle main event, even though I think really Disney Easy is the main event. But DNA and Clips versus Dumbfounded and Satire. Now, I had DNA and Clips winning, so maybe you could just go Dumbfounded and Satire, but they freestyled a good amount too. Energy was pretty much gone at this point. I mean, this is late in the night when it's happening, so understandable. There was little moments from all 4. I thought Satire's 30, little moments. Dumbfounded, I thought, for the most part, was carrying the flow of the team up until that third round. DNA and Clips did some good. You know, DNA in the third with the ISO, did some freestyle, and just overall, a little bit of an unserious main event, and I just thought it was fair to throw this one on there. Now we can get to the top 3. And this right here, all attacks on hip-hop. Everybody here, they got out their guns, you know what I'm saying? They packed a couple grenades, maybe a bazooka, and they went in to assault hip-hop. And at number 3, the first invader is Low Pesci. Face BMagic, thought going into this he would get bodied, and I thought it was proven pretty true by that. His first and his second there's little witty lines in there from Pesci, but for the most part his pace is terrible. Wouldn't let the people call time on him, wouldn't let Lush call time on him, which is actually kind of funny, but really, you know, not supposed to go down. Really did nothing with that extra time. Was telling everyone to stop fronting his bars. Just didn't really think he was good. He had an Astros line in the third that was okay. Your music trash, wouldn't be banging that trash like the Houston Astros, but overall lost by a lot and was being a little bit of a bitch about it. So got him at number 3. At number 2, I do have Coleslaw. Respect to her, she was a good sport, you know what I'm saying? But clearly, we know what the fishing was here from Disaster. She's an environmentalist, feminist, rapping against one of the more vulgar and disrespectful talents you're gonna find in battle rap, trying to set her up. Clearly, didn't do very good. Not a lot of rapping, not a lot of landing anything, but was a good sport about it. Her dad made a couple moments, was on the live stream, was pretty hilarious. So, second worst performer, you know what I'm saying? She had a close one. I thought she was a pretty good sport about it. And then ATM. No, we gotta draw the line somewhere. Absolutely not. Bizarre, suspect, not fire. I hope to never see ATM footage again in my life. And that wraps up the top 5 most disappointing performers of the card. So now to get into the fun part of it, my top 5 performers of day 1. And at number 5, very happy to have TRex. One of the best Rex performances you're going to see in some time. One of the most competitive you're going to see over really a year's length of time. Really like his first 2 rounds, specifically his second round. Very, very good. And I want to say there's a couple of things I think Rex did here that he really improved on directly from other battles. First of all, the pace and breath control. We know that that's been bothering Rex a lot. You look at especially the Rum Nitty battle, I think most recently, going back a couple years. And I think that's the battle that you see the breath control really getting to him. Amazing pure rapper, but really had a hard time getting it out. Shout out to him working out, getting his health together, man. Health is wealth. Not just good for him in battle rap, but good for him in life. And it shows in this battle. Clearly gets through all 3 rounds. I think he gasses out a little bit in the 3rd, but by then, you know what I'm saying, he's had a very competitive showing up to that point. Like his second a lot. Put the beats on him like a lunch table was one of the ones I liked. He hits a little pocket there where he hits 3 or 4 in a row at the end. And then in his first, only real issue, you know what I'm saying, that I have with Rex in this battle is that I still think the content has a little bit to go, a little bit outdated at times. You got the pomegranate bar, Smoking K2, a couple bars like that I think, you know, content-wise make it hard to close that gap. But like I said, the second, I think he really stepped up content-wise, and him riding uphill from the first to the second. I think another thing with Rex is after the first, he tends to kind of just fall off from there. To have his second possibly be the best round of the battle shows you can put 2 competitive rounds together. You know what I'm saying? If you do a good enough first, then a great second, and you can kind of see by the consensus results, a lot of people going with Rex. So overall, really, really happy with his performance. Definitely a big step in the right direction. Hope that he can continue this momentum and grow on it with a couple more matchups. From there, we get into number 4. Number 4, kind of funny because you could put Rex over it, but just the way he controlled the room, I gotta have him a little higher in the list, and that is Carter Deems. Carter Deems is like the Loaded Lux of strange rap. Well, he battled Dirtbag Dan, and just the way he performed, some of it is just ridiculous. Like he said, I'm about to be 39, and Dirtbag is like, yeah. He had a 38 bar. Dirtbag Dan's like, no, you're going to be 39. He's like, I'm going to be 39? Well, I got 39. The crowd just blows up. And there's tons of moments like that. Carter Deems is one of those, not like ATM. Not like some of the other strange rap you're going to see where, yes, it's weird, but it's acceptable. Like, it's a weird I feel like some people can accept because there is moments of, like, really good writing randomly in there. Just having a lot of fun doing it. This was, like, the most grind time battle. Shout out Dirtbag Dan, too. I don't have him the disappointing or the best, but I just thought he did decent. But just really, really had a lot of fun watching Carter. It looks like Carter had a lot of fun up there. And for me, you know, I had to put him at number 4 in the list. Going into the top 3 on the list, at number 3, the counterpart to TRex, I do have Bigg K. What an angler he's become, man. I think it's rare that you see a puncher grow. I'm not going to say grow as a talent because I think all punchers, you know what I'm saying, for the most part that are great have grown as talents. But to become this good of an angler after being known as just a pure puncher your whole career is pretty incredible to me. Angles Rex for the first 2 rounds primarily, maybe went a little long, doing a full round long angle for the first and second, and then goes punch out in the 3rd and just has a really great round, a great performance in my opinion all the way around. Stuck to the time limits a little bit more, which is no shocker for K. He even does 90-second rounds when they're not 90-second rounds. Right, but for the first round angle, talk about Rex jumping off the porch late. The second round angle about Rex and some of the suspect bars he's had. You refer to children, you know, we'll put it like that. Working on a couple bars, he had the kind of on a pedophilia type of, you know, concept. Didn't like it, actually liked the breakdown in the second. Rex's second is super competitive. In my opinion, though, which we'll get into a little bit more in a review, because obviously I think this is battle of the night, and I do want to do an actual review on it, but I did have K taking the first and the third clear, the second being pretty debatable, more than pretty debatable. I actually rewatched it, and I think I'm going with Rex on the second watch in the second. Originally called it a 3-0, but either way, I think the second is super competitive, great battle. I think the third, very, very clear for K. I've seen people try to give Rex third. Come on up, people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know we're happy for Rex. It's a little bit crazy. And then it really comes down to how you feel about the first. I personally feel like, hey, got the first pretty clear. I think that's where the content started to get to Rex. The K2, what's in my pomegranate, a little bit of bars like that just aren't the cereal special K. But with that being said, like I said, getting into it more in a review, but a really, really good battle. The best battle of the night in a back and forth sense, in my opinion. And the reason I have both of them in the top 5, TRex at 5 and Bigg K at 3, leading into the top 2 performers of the night. And at number 2, I do have BMagic. Love that fucking performance from BMagic, man. 3 just great rounds of rapping. Really scary, too, because in the first, he, like, stumbles almost instantly. And I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. Magic. I thought he was gonna do it. BMagic is not a stranger to just choking in the first bar of the battle. If that's how he's gonna approach the night. Got over the stumbles quick. Really don't see it again for the rest of the battle. First round, punch out. Second round, punch out. And the third round concept, where he like explained his writing concept, like I'll do this, mix a little bit of this, and he said, "Now I'll show you." And then he did it and made it a fire haymaker in pocket. Boy, he was beating confetti at Lil Pesci. Really, really love it. Top tier level performance, even though it is against not a top tier level opponent, just goes to show Magic is back to rapping. It is the closest we can ever say to him being back. And if he could just get a couple top tier opportunities, man, I think BMagic can prove that he is in fact back. Great, love the work he's been doing, and loved just the way he's taking every battle serious. And that's why I had him as the number 2 performer of the night. And at number 1, pretty simple, easy to block captain, which is no stranger. Most cards he's on, he ends up being performance of the night. And this one was no different. Thought Diz did good. I know he's not going to make the top 5 most impressive, but thought that he's okay the first 2. I mean, easy's just... He's just great, man. Even though his energy was down in the first, thought content-wise, he just closed that gap. This is first, probably his most beatable round as well. The second, I think he ends it a little bit weird at the end. Not a choke. I do think he's starting to forget his bars a little bit, but vet move, calls it before there is a stumble or is a prolonged pause for a choke. And then his third is probably the round of the night, although I really love Disaster's third round in this battle. Going into, he sprinkled a little bit of the angle, the papoose angle all throughout, but the third, speaking about an NDA apparently that he had received on Easy's side, really breaking down Easy's character, all this about burning bridges, and I just thought after Easy's second, which is a really great character assassination round of Diz, which is a signature for Easy at this point, at least once a battle, he's going to have a great character breakdown round. Diz and the fighting, causing the issues between Hollow and Math, the way he's ran for some of his issues, right? And then for Diz to respond right back in the third with his own character assassination round, it creates a dialogue, creates back-to-back, creates kind of like a conversation. That's what we wanted from that battle. Played out how many of us thought, easy 2-1, if not 3-0 clear. But I thought Diz did really good, and that's what you want to see. It, you know, played out very similar to Geechee and Diz. I thought Diz did pretty good in that, but I thought Geechee won pretty clearly 2-1 or 3-0. So Easy finally kind of gets the monkey off his back, seeing the angle, you know, face to face for the first time. Still think it's gonna be really tough going against Geechee Gotti, having to face that same exact angle. But in this one, not gonna say he diffused it, but just did a pretty good job doing him and just reaching higher peaks, even facing that angle. And for me, as it's been said many times, man, once again, Easy to Block Captain was the performer of the night. And that is my full, you know, top 5 either way. For the battles that I didn't get to talk about, that kind of got caught in the middle, Nestle and Ellipsis was pretty cool. Had Nestle second and third clear. And Reversed Live kind of dogged Dev the Demon. Had him 3-0 over Dev, even though Dev was pretty good. No chokes, which was good to see, but Live just had a good performance. And that is pretty much the wrap-up of day 1. Like I said, Bigg K versus TRex review will be coming out. I know I talked about it a little bit here. I hate when I talk about kind of the points I want to talk about a little more deep in a review, because I don't get to fully explain the thought, right? So you could pick at it a little bit. But like I said, going to have a much more detailed recap coming out in that, as that was Battle of the Night. And I'll probably do it for day 2 as well. Whatever's Battle of the Night on day 2, probably plan on doing a review for that during the week. But you guys let me know down below, what was your, if you watched, what was your favorite performance from day 1? What was the most bizarre thing you've seen from day 1? And just to close out, you know what I'm saying? Since this is based on performances, I don't really do the number check. I'm just going to go through through real quick. Reverse Live 3-0 over Dev the Demon. I had Caustic. Won, I guess. He choked the last 2 rounds, so technically Coleslaw second and third in a 2-1, but Caustic really won the battle. He was really the only rapper in the battle. I had a tweet about that. Make that make sense. From there, ATM and O Solo battle. O Solo is pretty good. Didn't get to mention him much, but he did his job. Did the famous one of my. You know how it goes. Wrote it down on the board. Also for the famous kind of like joking clip that goes with it. So O Solo 3-0 over ATM. I had Bigg K 2-1 over Rex, first and third, pretty clear. I had BMagic, Ostracized, and Lil Pesci 3-0. Clips and DNA, I had beating Dumbfounded and Satire 2-1, if not 3-0. I had Easy, the Block Captain, 2-1, if not 3-0, with the third being the really debatable round and really the peak of the battle, if not the peak of the night. I had Carter Deems 3-0 over Dirtbag Dan. Good battle, but Carter just kept reaching higher and higher volumes. And if I'm correct, that is the full synopsis of the card. As I said before, you guys let me know in the comments down below, what did you think? I will be spinning right back around for day 2 coverage of Battle of the Bay. So, keep your eye out on this channel. Tons of GTX coverage coming out. And it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. As I said, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.